Okay. Tonight we've got a very important topic, and the topic is linking, which should be a major part of your free search engine strategies. Now, when I was in Costa Rica recently, I was lucky enough to meet Harold Anderson, who is probably one of the world's best authorities on linking, and he's agreed for his time all the way from the United States. And I'd just like to introduce everyone to Harold. How you going, Harold?
I'm doing great, Andrew. How's everything in Australia today?
Well, it's Australia tonight. We're in the middle of the night to record this, but it's really good to hear your voice, Harold.
It's good talking with you again as well.
And, yeah, we met recently in Costa Rica, and I was really impressed by your talk you gave over there, and so I thought that your knowledge in linking would really add to the course, so that's why I've invited you in here. And first of all, just basically, Harold, start off, what is linking?
Well, that's a great question, Andrew, and it's one of those things that is so simple, but it has become so complex in the internet arena. Everybody has their set of rules, but what I found when I talk with linking about people is that let's back up one step, and the most important question that it comes down to is the definition of quality. Mm-hmm. Now, if I were to ask you, Andrew, to say how would you define quality with relationship to web marketing, what would you say?
Oh, that is defining a market with a hungry market, a quality market that's out there.
Sure. Now, what happens is that we all have workable and very practical definitions of quality that we can put into words. But the thing that we need to understand about search engines is that search engines don't have that luxury. Search engines are actually a piece of software. It is a piece of code, and they can only define quality in quantitative terms. Now, if there's anything that you get out of this conversation that Andrew and I are having today, that is going to be the most important point, that a search engine can only define quality in quantitative terms. Now, to give you an idea of how important it is to understand that, the analogy that I would make for you is that your website is like your resume. It is what you are telling the world about yourself. In today's day and age, we can build websites about anything. I can build a website that says I'm the world's greatest brain surgeon. But then the issue becomes, who is going to give me a reference that validates that claim? And the references are actually what links are supposed to be. The whole concept of linking started when the founders of Google were PhD candidates at Stanford University, and they theorized in a very practical manner that in the intellectual world that you could tell what was the most qualitative text on any single topic by how often it was referenced in the scholastic literature. So if you were looking for cancer cures in the scholastic literature, you could basically try to, you could determine which was the most qualitative or which were the most qualitative texts out there by how often they were being referenced in all of the cancer literature. Well, Google basically took that exact same concept and transferred it onto the internet. And the theory is that the more often that your site is referenced by other sites, the more qualitative it is. And the analogy that I would draw there, Andrew, is that probably since we were kids, you know, you and I have had numerous different jobs and positions and things that we have done. And if I was to give you my resume right now, what would carry more weight with them are the references from people that I have worked with or worked for that would basically endorse whatever I was saying that I was going to do for you. Now, I've worked as a lifeguard. I've worked as a babysitter. I've also done search engine optimization for people. I've done marketing for people, so on and so forth. Any references that would accompany that resume would carry weight in terms of letting you know that what I'm going to do for you is what I am capable of doing. Does that concept make sense?
I think it's a great analogy because it really qualifies what you're talking about there. It really brings home to me perfectly, Harold. That's an amazing analogy. I never quite thought of it like that, and it's really important to think it in those terms.
Yeah, I think that if you break it down to that simplicity, if you look at your website as your resume, a resume is empty if there's no references associated with it. If you tell me that you are the world's most effective guitar teacher,